Hey guys, so it's me again. So after some playtesting, I found out that my previous Angel Feathers build wasn't really all that good, so I made some changes. So I'm gonna make this video short and brief, so let's go. So for the VRs, we are still playing 4 copies of Malkuth-melekh, the best card in the deck, 4 copies of Metatron because we really want to heal. So this build is not too different from the first one. We are still a Protect 1 centric deck, and 1 copy of Zerakill. Although I don't really want to run Zerakill anymore, so I want to be testing a card called Sima Persil, so I'll put a picture up here. I don't really have the card yet, from BT07. So the thing about Malkuth-melekh is still our best first right. We want to ride this on our first right, because his skill to recur 3 units is just too powerful. Even if we don't have 2 counterblast, we just ride him and take that 1 point of damage to recur 3 units, get that final 5k boost. It really helps us push in early damage, and also yeah, it's just too good. We want to be always riding this on our first ride, because riding anything else just doesn't give that much of anything, and we always want to make fully utilize our turns as much as possible. Now for grade 2s, we are playing the 4 copies of Almighty. I think this card is still king, that's why I'm still running 4. He's still the best grade 2 ride, and also 4 copies of Adroit Zane. This card is so crazy. I think he's probably the second best card we got in this deck. So still 2 copies of Freezing Granter and 1 copy of the promo Ample Diffuser, just as a beat stick to help us push in damage. Basically, she gets 5000 power when she attacks if your opponent has a face-up damage, and if your opponent has 2 face-up damage or more, she gains 15,000 power, so she becomes 24k. And it works on Vanguard Rearguard Circle, so it's not a bad Vanguard ride. So in this deck right now, we have basically 7 decent Vanguard rides. I mean, we don't really want to ride this. We really want to put this on the Rearguard Circle, but it doesn't matter if you know, it's not that bad if you have another one on the rearguard and it swings. It puts a card in your opponent's damage zone from his rearguard, and it becomes 19 as well. So if you ride this on your Vanguard and you have this on the rearguard, you swing the rearguard first, and this card becomes maybe 14 to 24 depending on how many cards in your damage. Now Almighty 4, because just too good, it enables to cause anything from the damage zone, and I never had an issue with Soul in this deck, so yeah, just use it conservatively. Although on our first turn, right, if I ride Helpful Attendant and I ride Almighty, that's 2 soul gone, but it doesn't really hurt the deck, because all we need to use soul for in the following turns is just every 1 soul for Malkuth-melekh. The thing is, I don't play Hospital, and I don't find Hospital to be useful in this deck because we just don't play Zerakill. So the build up for the 2 grade 3 in soul, if you don't play, if you don't superiorize Zerakill, it's basically turn 5. You have 2 grade 3s in soul. That's really slow, and I don't really like that. So 2 Freezing Granter here. We won't really use his Counterblast for his skill for the power, because Counterblast is really tight in this deck. You want to be using all your Counterblasts for healing purposes, because damage denial is pretty easy. Decks such as Chronofang Rebellion with their Force 2, they're able to keep you at 3 damage for the rest of the game. So you gotta be really careful with your Counterblasts. So now we play 2 copies of Auscultate Angel, just to really help us find the VR, and also it gives us a soul if we really need. So with the additional soul, we can probably use Freezing Granter. Yeah, it helps us with the soul. And now this is a new card we're playing, 4 copies of Medical Angel. This card is really amazing, and I think a bit underrated. So his skill is, if a card was placed in your damage zone this turn, his is X skill, so on rearguard, you bought back this card, you draw 2 cards, and you drop a card to your damage, to your drop zone. So it helps us to cycle through our deck faster, gets us all that pieces. So every turn we want to ride a new grade 3, we want to ride Malkuth-melekh, we want to ride Metatron, so we just keep healing every turn to generate that imaginary Protect 1 or 2 gift. Mostly Protect 1 with this deck, so not riding again is actually very painful. Yeah, because we don't get to heal, and most importantly, get that Protect 1 gift. And also this card is amazing because whatever you draw, you just discard it, and you're building up your drop zone. Okay, so this deck is basically like Grand Blue. You build up your drop zone, you just discard the units action, and you just recur them back. Now we're playing 3 copies of Hazardale. This card is still too good. Just getting anything from our damage zone. We still want to at least play 3, although we've just cut down to our Zerakills. Even if I'm not playing Zerakill, I think I'll still play 3, because being able to grab anything from our damage zone is just amazing. And lastly, 4 copies of Helpful Intendant. Okay, this card is really powerful. So in this deck, if you have Adroit Zane, using Adroit Zanes to swing first, putting a card from their rearguard zone to their damage zone, it makes this skill live. So it's always a 13k booster. So if you pair this with Adroit Zane in the same line, it's actually quite big. So 13 plus 19, that's 32. So against Excel and Protect, that's at least a 25k card. And also being able to call out any unit on turn 1, turn 2. So it's just very powerful. So lastly, onto our triggers. We're playing the 6 crit now, because we just really want pushing damage. So when we damage check or ourselves, when we use Malkuth-melekh or Metatron, we get a crit. That's very big. And for PG, of course. Now we play the 2 additional draws, because draw is good. We really want to see our pieces. And also, if you use Multi-Medical Angel, you draw into your draw trigger, that's 5k, you can just ditch the draw trigger. And for heal, of course. So now let's move on to just some simple combos for the deck and what lines you want to actually see. So this is obviously our best first, right? And okay, so this is our ideal run, right? And so on, let's say, assuming we take a damage from the first turn. Wow, Multi-Medical Angel. So it goes something like this. You write this, Soul Blast 1, you call Multi-Medical Angel somewhere, maybe here, and let's say you take a damage. Okay, now you activate Helpful Intendant skill, move it down, look at your damage zone, and just, depending on the situation, whatever you need, you just call it. So let's say I call this because we really like Helpful Intendant. So let's call it here. And now, since we have used his skill this turn to, we have put cards in our damage zone, we are able to use his skill to drop 2 cards and ditch 1. So effectively, we are building up our drop zone for the following turns. Now, what is our ideal field gonna look like for the following turns? Every turn, it's basically pretty much the same. You want to have something that looks like this. So this is your best field. Something like this. This is a lot of power actually. So Malkuth-melekh will give additional 5,000 power to everyone in the front row. And these all get 1,000 power because definitely they're gonna be moving something into the damage zone, and your Helpful Intendants will all get +5 as well. So effectively, when you swing like this, oops, you can't see this. Okay, when you swing with a right column or left column first, just side, this is 37,000 power. Now that's very big against a force or protect or whatever. This is really very big already. And then you retire it, you snipe one of the rear guards, then you swing with Vanguard for 30k power, then you swing. So you don't really have to run that much grade 2s in the deck. You can just run that one-off Ample Diffuser because pretty much your lineup on your board is pretty much fixed every turn. These are the best 2 recurring units you want to call because it is very painful to just keep sniping away their rear guards. So some decks are not able to replenish that specific rear guard, so it actually hurts them a lot. As you know, not all of them have that many good attackers to call off the deck. So yeah, so here's a comparison between Protect 1 and Protect 2. So you have something like this. Oops. So for Protect 2 we have the Amputation Angel and Sexual Angel, and Protect 2 Gift. Okay, it doesn't matter where you put it. Usually you're gonna put it behind, so you can intercept with bigger shield. Okay, so what's the power difference when we are playing Protect 1 versus Protect 2? Right, so with Protect 1 build, mostly, okay, this card, this column, like we said, is 32,000 power, minus the 5 from Malkuth-melekh. So it's just 32,000 power, 19 plus 13, that's 32,000. So this card with a Protect 2, she's 24, 24 plus 13. Right, this is 37. So obviously this is more power. But that's because you have the Protect 2 gift here. Right, so if you slide it here, it's actually the same, okay? They are the same power. Right? But it's just that with this you get more value out of the shields. But the thing about playing Protect 2 is also because really you want to be placing this behind, so Naru, Kami, they can't really bind it, and also you can constantly intercept for 20k recurring shield. That's pretty free. But with Protect 2 and placing a gift behind, the thing is it's behind, so if you are unable to recur a unit every turn and place it in this specific circle, you're actually losing out on the gift. So we just have to be mindful of that. And some games do drag out that long, so you'll go to games where you just guard with all your hand, you top deck, and you can only play one card. So it just might go to that far. So that's all. This is pretty much the updated build, and hope you find success with this. Bye bye.